So today we're going to talk about finding the missing base or height when we are working with a rectangle. So on each of the problems you're going to see, it is going to give you the area, and what you need to do is make sure you follow the 3 steps below. You're going to write the formula that we know we use to find the area of a rectangle. So I know when I look at my formula chart, to find area for a rectangle or parallelogram, I use the equation A equals base times height. So I'm going to write A equals base times height. Then we have to plug in what we do know, whatever numbers they give us, and then solve for the missing piece, which is going to require us to solve equations. So if you look at the first example, they tell us the area of a rectangle is 150 inches squared. So if I have a rectangle, the area equals 150 inches squared. The height of the rectangle is 10 inches. So I know that my height equals 10, and they want to know the length of the base in inches. So the formula I'm using is A equals base times height. And we have to plug in what we do know. So we know that the area is 150. The base is what we're solving for. And the height they gave us as 10. This year we've taught you guys to always rewrite your problem with your variable, which in this case is B, on the left side of your equal sign. So I'm going to come down here and rewrite this. So I have the base times 10 equals 150. So now I simply have to solve this equation. I have to get our variable by itself. So I'm going to circle my variable and build a wall at the equal sign. And since this is base times 10, I'm going to do the opposite to get base alone, and the opposite of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide by 10, and this side will cancel, and I'm going to divide this side by 10, and I get the base equals 150 divided by 10. So when I solve that, I know 10 goes into 15 one time. I have a remainder of 5, and I bring down my 0, and 10 goes into 50 15 times. So my base for this rectangle is 15 inches. So the base was 15 inches. I'm going to give you a minute, and I want you to try number 2 on your own. Go ahead and pause the video so that you can try it by yourself, and then you'll have a second to check it. All right, so let's check what you got. So if we know that the formula we're using is A equals base times height, they tell us that the area is 500 square feet. So I'm going to write 500 equals my base, they're calling L for the mystery number that we're trying to solve for. And then my height is 20. So I'm going to have the base times 20. On your Google form you're filling out, I'm going to ask you guys to type in a keyword that I said during the video. The keyword is going to be popcorn. Popcorn. You may want to write that down. It is one word that you'll have to type in at the end of this section of the Google form. Okay? So now I'm going to go ahead and continue solving. So I'm going to rewrite my equation to have my variable on the left. So I'm going to have 20b, 20 times b equals 500. And I'm going to solve this like I solve equations by circling my variable, building a wall at the equal sign, and divide both sides by 20 to get our variable alone. So b equals, and if I don't know my factors for, or my multiplication facts for 20, I'm going to do some long division. 20 goes into 50 2 times, and it's 40. And I get 10 as a remainder. I bring down this 0, and 20 goes into 100 5 times, which is going to wind up being the answer for my base. My base of this rectangle is 25 feet. Now you guys should be ready to practice on your own, and you can continue on to the next section of your Google form.